Monster Jam Studios, I'm Scott Jordan with this edition of the Weekly Update. It was another non-stop action-packed weekend in Monster Jam with 16 events from 4 different tours. And with less than 2 months remaining until World Finals, the cream has begun rising to the top, while others must sink or swim as the pressure mounts with Orlando on the horizon. Now let's get down to business. We started the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan with Arena Championship Series Central. Great arena, by the way, home of the Griffins minor league hockey's finest. And on Friday night, the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge, Blake Granger in Max D hits a popper off the pod, moonwalks it back up, nose wheelies back down, keeps the truck out there, starts to bring it back, turns the wheels, slow control, hits reverse popper onto the pod, and a big wheelie back down. Max D is your winner, and Blake Granger takes the event championship. He would add another one on Sunday afternoon. On Saturday afternoon, more action from the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. This time it's Elvis Linez getting it done, stops on a dime. El Toro Loco with a vertical base, moonwalk onto the pod, switches it up, reverse stoppie, then a hard wheelie back onto the pod. Elvis takes the competition on his way to the event championship. He would add a second trophy on Sunday evening as well. I've been saying it all year, the road to a series championship goes right through the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge, and over the weekend in the Central, the winner of that competition went on to win the event every single time. On Saturday night, it was Kristen Anderson's turn. The series points leader hits a reverse popper, just lays the truck on the wheelie bar. That is vintage Kristen Anderson. She finds some room, lays it down briefly, then full throttle sky wheelie. Gravedigger wins it, and Kristen Anderson takes home the championship trophy. Let's take a look at the series points. Now Kristen Anderson with a 32-point lead over Tony Oakes, Blake Granger in third, Elvis Linez in fourth, John Zimmer Jr. remains in fifth. Up next for Arena Championship Series Central is the Schottenstein Center. Say that 3 times fast. Columbus, Ohio, with 3 events beginning on Saturday afternoon. Arena Championship Series East heated up the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. On Saturday afternoon, the racing finals were set. It was Gravedigger against Dragon, but Gravedigger unable to refire, so the black and green wrecking machine heads to the back. Enter Whiplash. Brianna Mahan was knocked out in the semis, but she gets another shot here against one of the best racers in the business, Cody Saucier. Both hit the turn at the same time. Dragon stays narrow. Whiplash goes wide, even at the halfway point. Then final turn, Dragon goes really wide, and that's the window Mahan needed. Close finish. Let's take a look at the replay. Look how close this was. Dragon recovered from the wide turn, but Whiplash, by an inch and a prayer, trademark that, gets the win. In freestyle, both Hooked and Stone Crusher Blue Motors, they would miss the rest of the weekend, but Brandon Budd back in Monster Jam in 2022 with Wasted Nights. He wears his sunglasses at night. What? That's his music. Comes off the log with some air right into a stoppie, then the double log sky wheelie combo. And great to see Brandon competing back in Monster Jam. Let's get some more Dragon highlights in here in freestyle. Cody Saucier lines up for the 8-pack. Sends Dragon, the truck goes flying, nails the landing, goes around to the other side, gets the big air brake check for the slap wheelie, and Cody Saucier gets his 7th freestyle win of the season. But it's Brianna Mahan getting her 3rd event championship on the year. On Saturday night in the racing finals, it would be Gravedigger against Wasted Nights. Anderson with a slight advantage. Don't forget Brandon Budd been making waves on the independent circuit. Check out the angle though on the final turn by Weston Anderson. Perfect lane, and that gets it done. Gravedigger wins racing. In the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge, Weston Anderson comes off the pod into a stoppie. Watch the back end of the truck flip up into a vertical position, slides out into a moonwalk, and just holds the truck still. Unbelievable control. Starts the moonwalk, doesn't like the angle, brings Gravedigger back out, and then finally moonwalks till he runs out of room, and Gravedigger wins the competition for the 12th time this season. That is enough for the overall event championship, his 18th. And he would add his 19th on Sunday as we take a look at the series point standings. Now Weston Anderson, a 116-point lead over Armando Castro. That is the largest in the sport. Cody Saucier in 3rd, Brianna Mahan in 4th. This weekend, Arena Championship Series East rolls into the MVP Arena in Albany, New York for 3 events with the action kicking off on Saturday afternoon. Stadium Championship Series Red had last weekend off, but let's get you caught up with the current series point standings. Tom Meents comes into this weekend with a 16-point lead over Todd LeDuc, who also has a 16-point lead over Adam Anderson, and Cole Vennard and Bryce Kenny round out your top 5. The point series does kick back off this weekend with Stadium Championship Series Red returns to action on Saturday with one event at Lumen Field in Seattle, which will be broadcast on CNBC. Arena Championship Series West was at the Tucson Arena in Arizona last weekend, and this segment now becomes the Travis Mowry Appreciation segment. I've seen this kid throw down some runs, and he is the real deal in racing. On Friday night, it was a Team Throttle Monster Showdown. Rockwell Red versus Jurassic Attack, and David Olford with the lead at the halfway point. Final turn, Olford goes wide, Mowry stays in, and Rockwell Red is your racing winner, and Travis Mowry is your event champion. On Saturday afternoon, Gravedigger and Rockwell Red would meet in the racing finals, and Brandon Vincent gets the win, but it comes at a cost. Gravedigger blows the motor, and the series points leader was out for the rest of the event. In the donut competition, Rockwell Red finds the sweet spot, 6 revolutions, the breakdance ending, and Travis Mowry wins donuts, and that makes Travis Mowry 2 for 2, winning another event championship. On Saturday night, it was Earthshaker's turn to blow a motor, and Brandon Vincent took the event championship in Gravedigger. Earthshaker unfortunately would not compete on Sunday. And right now we go to the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. Gravedigger rebounding nicely here, gets the stoppie, the moonwalk back on the pod, all the way across. The hood hanging on by a thread, gets it down the backside, and Brandon Vincent wins the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. In freestyle, Miranda Kozad sends Scooby-Doo across the log stack with a big sky wheelie, gets the nice bounce on the back 2 BKTs, then comes across the tires, goes sideways over the pod, a spectacular roll, and Miranda Kozad walks away with a freestyle win. But it's Brandon Vincent grabbing his second event championship of the weekend, and he's the ultimate hype man. Take a listen as he closes the weekend out in Greenville. Now let's take a look at the series points standings. Brandon Vincent now a 102-point lead over Tristan England. Travis Mowry jumps up into third. David Olford, Bernard Light round out the top 5. Arena Championship Series West now moves on to the Save Mart Center in Fresno, California, with 4 events starting on Friday night. Some of the stars of Stadium Championship Series Yellow were in action last weekend in Huntsville, Alabama at the Von Braun Center. Unfortunately, there was no footage available from the event, so I will recap it all for you right here. On Friday night, a near-perfect event for Gravedigger's Tyler Menega. He earned 23 out of 24 points and the event championship. He would add a second trophy on Saturday afternoon, then a third trophy on Saturday night. I know it's getting repetitive, but on Sunday, Menega would get the perfect event, winning all 4 competitions. So Gravedigger goes 4 for 4, and now we find out if Tyler Menega can keep that momentum going when the point series resumes as he tries to catch Ryan Anderson. Right now, let's catch you up on the series points. Anderson with lead over Tyler. Camden Murphy sits in third, Charlie Pauken in fourth, and Corey Rummel in fifth. The point series remains on hold for one more week as some of the stars from this series take over Colonial Life Arena in Columbia, South Carolina, with 3 events beginning Saturday afternoon. My guest this week is the current points leader on Arena Championship Series East and is enjoying one of the greatest rookie seasons in Monster Jam history. It is my pleasure to welcome in Weston Anderson. Weston, welcome to the weekly update. How are things at Digger's Dungeon today?
Man, it is awesome. I'm glad I am finally on here. I've been waiting for you to message me about this, and here we are today.
Well, I didn't have a choice. You just keep winning everything, so I had to have you on here. Now, I saw you here in the studio a couple months ago, but prior to that, I hadn't seen you since 2019 at King's Dominion. You and I were paired up as ride buddies for the weekend. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I was going to pick on you about screaming like a little girl, but I'm pretty sure we screamed like little girls together on the roller coaster.
We did, and Bari would tell you that I still scream like a little girl on roller coasters. So let's talk about your season. You're a rookie in Monster Jam, but anybody who's followed you knows you were born into the sport. You've been driving since your dad would let you. You made a name for yourself driving Bog Hog and King Sling. So how did that help you prepare for this transition into Monster Jam?
Man, it has been a little bit weird for me, a little bit hectic, honestly. The first couple weekends, I thought that I was just terrible at driving a monster truck, and I didn't even realize it, but I was in a truck that was set up for a stadium, and then we actually totaled that truck. Not proud to say that at all, but we totaled the truck, and I got a new truck, Gravedigger 37, and as you can see, I've been absolutely whooping butt and taking names out there on the track in that truck.
Yeah, you've been dominant as of late on your series. Would you now attribute that, besides the truck, just to really starting to get comfortable on the arena tracks? Obviously, when you drive, King Sling and Bog Hog, it's a bit of a different environment.
Oh yeah, man, it's always wide open wherever we go with the mega trucks, and it was like, honestly, I didn't even know if these walls were going to be able to contain me this year in Gravedigger, but so far so good. Everything's been going great so far. I couldn't ask for a better rookie year than this year.
All right, if things stay where they are and you win your series and go to Orlando to compete for a world championship, it looks like you could be competing against your brothers Adam and Ryan and your sister Kristen. What are your thoughts on competing against your family to try to become a world champion?
Man, it would honestly mean the world to me to go up against my brothers and my sister and all the other Gravedigger drivers. I've raced my dad in the past, and I have whooped his butt in the past. And I hope that if we do get lined up, if they beat me, they better go and they better win the championship, because if they don't, I'm going to be mad at them.
I've gone on record as saying you're having the best rookie season in Monster Jam history. Would you say that I am right in already proclaiming that, or would you say there's still work to do?
Man, there is definitely always work to do, but so far I think I have had the best rookie season and probably the best season that Monster Jam has ever had. I don't see any other tour out there with such a points lead that I have, and it's not like I'm on a slouch tour. I have a bunch of veterans, Cody Saucier, Brianna Mahan, Chad Tingler, Shane Freed, and Armando Castro. They're all great drivers, been in the sport for years, but, I got that little bit of spunk still left in me. They don't as much anymore, and I think that's what helps me a little bit. I'm going out there and I'm trying new things that nobody's ever seen before.
Weston will try to extend his series points lead when the East Series rolls into Albany this weekend. Weston, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure I'll see you in Orlando.
I hope to see you there, man.
Let's take a look at this week's power rankings. Ryan Anderson continues to lead the field heading into April. And after an incredible performance in Huntsville, Tyler Menega now jumps up to number 2, while Brandon Vincent drops 1 spot to number 3. No change throughout the rest of the top 10 as Murphy, Mintz, LeDuc, the Andersons, England, and Paulkin all stay put. And for the full rankings, head on over to monsterjam.com. We are now less than 2 months away from the return of Monster Jam World Finals. Watch the best and brightest stars in the sport as they compete for 4 world championships. The biggest event of the year takes place on May 21st and 22nd at Camping World Stadium. Tickets are available right now. Speaking of right now, if you go to monsterjam.com, you can register to win the VIP experience of a lifetime, which includes airfare, hotel, and premium lower level seats, as well as tickets to the awards ceremony on Friday night. Register to win today, and I'll see you at World Finals 21 in Orlando. The buzz is real as our Monster Jam television show debuted last weekend on our new network, CNBC, as a part of NBC Sports. The next episode of Monster Jam airs this Saturday, April 2nd at noon Eastern, and it's round 4 with Stadium Championship Series Yellow from San Diego. For the entire schedule, you can go to monsterjam.com/TV and join us all season long for 26 rounds of coverage on NBC Sports. With World Finals approaching, now is the time to follow us on social media at Monster Jam across all platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Use the hashtag Monster Jam on all of your posts so we can see how much fun you're having and maybe even get you up on the video board. New content is always on the way, so like, follow, subscribe now to stay in the know with everything Monster Jam. As for this week, I'm back on a plane and heading to the Pacific Northwest for one event with Stadium Championship Series Red in Seattle. If you're in the Seattle area, you might find me sampling the local flavors at Pike's Place Market, or enjoying the view at the top of the Space Needle, or maybe even taking in all of my Tom Hanks fandom on the Sleepless in Seattle movie tour. Sounds fun, don't it? Always room for one more. That's going to do it for this week's show. Have fun at Monster Jam. I'll see you right back here next week on the Weekly Update.